Hi guys, welcome back to Indiego Recess. I'm your host, Giselle. I'm also a DJ of the Shadow playlist here at Indigo, and I'm very, very excited to introduce one of my favorite DJs and also a good friend, Krysta, who is here with us in the studio today. Krysta, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Krysta Joy, and I am a DJ here on Indigo as well. And I'm very grateful to be able to come here, share a couple of my songs, and a little bit more about myself as an artist.
Very nice. I know that you're an amazing musician, and it's been a while since we talked about it before, since you've been playing with a band. So let's just kick it off. Why don't you share with us what your first song is going to be?
Well, I won't share much. I'll just let you have a little listen. Shall we take it away, Wood?
Awesome.
Eyes on the prize, okay. Don't let it slip away. You've gotta give your all. Even if it means, even if it takes your soul. Don't you wanna be the best? Overpower all the rest. Trending hashtags of your name. Endless adoration, endless fame. All these things will never ever measure up to you. There's nothing I can bring on the day I go back home to you. Glance around, what do you see? People lost in who they have to be, wandering without a clue. They're just hoping they're defined by what they do. All these things will never ever measure up to you. There's nothing I can bring on the day I go back home to you. Everything I gain is lost. All these things I've gained are lost. Everything I gain is lost. All these things I've gained are lost. Everything I gain is lost. All these things I've gained are lost. All these things will never ever measure up to you. There's nothing I can bring on the day I go back home to you. No, all these things, they will never ever measure up to you. No, there is nothing I can bring on the day I go back home to you.
I just have one word. Wow.
Wow!
I am
so
blown
much.
away. I mean,
so
I have
much.
never seen you perform with a live band, as I mentioned before,
Yeah.
but this is such a treat. I'm so happy right now. So
Thank you so
that
much.
was These Things from Krysta's. It's a deep cut, right? It's from your first work.
My
From
first EP.
2019.
Yes.
Yes, and I mean, over the time that I've known Krysta, she's grown so much. She's my little baby.
Josella's
I
mother,
love
as
saying
the
that.
Gen Z say. Mother.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I've seen you wear so many hats across your time. You know,
Yeah.
first when I met you, you were a singer-songwriter, and then we have both just started at Indigo as DJs, and then now you're also a producer and also run your own studio.
Yeah.
So what is it that helps you to just be constantly creative?
I feel like the source of all my creativity and inspiration is definitely God. I think that has been my core from the very start. So I know that when I sort of lean into that and I dig deep into that, everything flows very naturally. The moment I start to try to do it myself, just conjure things or just try to be creative from a place that I know is not my core. So like when my view starts to get shifted, like, oh, I want to have 1 million streams, or like I want to be this and that and this and that, and it becomes very self-serving, which is not wrong if that's what your core is as an artist. But I think that's just different for me. So creativity really flows once I recenter and I realign, and I'm like, okay, this is who I'm doing it for, and this is what I'm doing it for. Yeah.
For sure. And I think that every artist, like part of their DNA, everyone has a different core,
Yes,
right?
for
Different
sure.
things. Like even if you're just a creative, not necessarily a musician,
Yeah.
everyone just has to find that thing to tap into and help your creativity flow.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm glad you found yours so early in your journey.
Yes, I'm so thankful.
So you're going to bring us another one of your deep cuts from your first EP.
This is gonna be the first song ever. The
Wow.
first song ever released.
What a treat. All right,
Yeah.
which song is it?
This is gonna be Wait, and we're gonna show you. It's gonna be a little different from the first one ever, because my voice was higher at the time. To be very honest, we had to bring down the key. So hey guys,
No
correct
shame,
key,
no
yeah?
shame.
C sharp minor. Okay, let's take it away. My heart is in a frenzy, hardwired by the need to know what I think I need to know. My head is oh so hazy, polluted by the need to know what I do not need to know. The tension is draining my attention, escaping me. But wait, what is this rush I created? On my anxiety fixated, gotta break it. What's it gonna take for me to be okay with the weight? My lungs are suffocated, ventilation's at an all-time low. I just really need to know. Everything inside is aching. I'm not sure I can take one more blow. How badly do I need to know? The tension is draining my attention, escaping me. But wait, what is this rush I created? On my anxiety fixated, gotta break it. What's it gonna take for me to be okay with the way? What is this rush I created? On my anxiety fixated, gotta break it. What's it gonna take for me to be okay with the way? I know you have plans for me. Teach me to wait patiently. I know you have plans for me. Teach me to wait patiently. I know you have plans for me. Teach me to wait patiently. I know you have plans for me. Won't you teach me to wait patiently? But wait, what is this rush I created? On my anxiety fixated, gotta break it. What's it gonna take for me to be okay with the wait? What is this rush I created? On my anxiety fixated, gotta break it. What's it gonna take for me to be okay with the wait? Yeah. Teach me to wait patiently. I know you have plans for me. Teach me to wait. Teach me to wait.
And that was Wait. Wow. I'm so happy right now. So next question for Krysta is that, it's been a while since right now you're in your new release cycle where you've been releasing a couple of new singles. And before that, there was a little period where you were busy with Selah Studios and all of that kind of stuff. But you've moved through a couple of different sonic identities over your time as an artist. First, more going into soul, R&B, and then more acoustic, and now it's kind of somewhere in the middle. Can you share with us a little bit what it was like finding your current sonic identity?
Oh, for sure. I like to say that I had to go many different paths to realize that the first one I was on was the right one. So everything you're hearing here from 5 years ago, I think is the truest sound to myself. And then I started to doubt myself along the way because I started to ask around, what do you think? And what do you think? What do you think? And I think it came from a place of insecurity. And then on the second album I worked on, Embrace the Progress, I worked with Fox, amazing guy. And we decided to do something completely different. And I was a completely different person then as well. So we were going through COVID, and I was very down about a lot of things, as we all were. And then we decided, okay, let's try to focus on your voice. So for the second album, I was not allowed to play a single instrument. Fox was like, you know what? Just leave it to me sonically, and we're just going to focus on you singing and experimenting with your voice. And I think through that process, I learned the power of my voice, and I think it was very necessary, but it was not me musically. It was very much Fox's influence, which was a beautiful experience for me. And then afterwards, I realized, hey, this is still very true to who I am. And I came back full circle, got the band together as well. So these guys are from Wood. It's a new band collective. As you can see, they're really young. They bring down the average age by a lot. But my usual folks, Lucas, Zasha, Sam, and Ernest, we got back together and we started jamming. And I realized this is who I am. And I think it was a necessary process. But initially, I remember when I started writing again with this kind of sound, I was like, I wasted so much time. I should have just trusted my gut, I wasted. But I'm starting to learn that truly it is about enjoying the process, and I would not have made it back here had I not tried different things, Yeah.
And I think that it's actually quite rare. I've interviewed so many artists over my time at Indiego and also at Asian Pop Weekly. I feel like you've actually found your sound very early on in your journey, and you were like, yes, this is me, right? You know how many iterations other people go through, and it was not wasted, right? As you just mentioned. So that's amazing to hear.
Yes, I'm very happy.
Awesome. So now we are actually going to cut down. So Woods is going to take a backseat, and you're going to share with us another song by yourself. Which song is that?
This is going to be Road Rage. It's the first song I released this year, and coming back into this cycle again.
Awesome. Let's hear it.
I heard my mother cursing on the road. She said, cover your ears, I don't want you to hear these ugly words. I felt her arm reach out to hold me back when she made a mistake and slammed onto the brake to avoid impact. She loves me, but she's got a lot of road rage. Oh, she died for me if it meant that I would be safe. She loves me, even though she can drive me a little insane. If she crashes the car, you'll find me under her arms in the wreckage. Oh, I saw another letter on the dash saying she drove at 100 on roads that were marked with half of that. I scoffed and swore I'd never do the same, but now she's in the backseat and terrified of me at this pace. She loves me, but I've got a lot of road rage. Oh, she died for me if it meant that I would be safe. Oh, she loves me, even though I can drive her a little insane. And if I crash the car, you'll find me under her arms in the wreckage. Oh, I forget about my mirror. You see things you say I cannot. Road rage is somewhere in my blind spot.
I feel so privileged that this is not the first time that I've heard Road Rage live. The first time, Krysta gave me an almost private performance in Selah Studios, and this time I get to hear it live as a band. Actually, it's kind of a private performance as well.
It is, because they were all sitting down.
Yeah. Oh, yes, true. Around
does,
you.
it does.
Yeah. And I wanted to say that your latest songs, Road Rage and Runway, are intimate descriptions of some of the challenges you face in your life. And like over COVID as well, you had a songwriting challenge.
Oh, yes.
Where you wrote like, I don't know how many 100 plus
I wrote a song a
songs.
day last year, yes.
365 songs.
Because it was a leap year, yeah.
Wow. So yeah, I feel like that's massive.
Yeah.
Not that many artists are able to do that.
Yeah.
So have you noticed like if there's a trend like in terms of your songwriting, like are there certain topics or themes that really inspire you to write more about?
Oh, for sure, for sure. So last year I did a song a day challenge because I learned this from Inch Chua actually many years ago during my Noise Music Mentorship Band Camp, where she was talking about how songwriting is a muscle. It's the same as playing the bass, playing the drums. And I realized that never clicked for me because I'm always so used to, okay, when I'm inspired, I just write. And it happens really quickly. But then I fell into that trap of like, oh, I've got writer's block. And you hear so many artists say that, like, oh, I've got writer's block, I haven't been able to write. But then I realized that the only solution to writer's block is to work the muscle hard enough that whenever I want to activate it, I can. So then I challenged myself last year to just write a song every single day. And of course, it turned out to be very much like journal entries throughout. And looking back on last year, I think last year was one of the most difficult years of my life. So a lot of the themes were actually really sad. And to the point that I didn't post up a lot of them. So when I tell people I wrote a song a day, they're like, hey, liar, you only posted like 50 online, you know? I'm like, yeah, I think for good reason, because they started to become a lot more personal and started to dig into like really deep and dark themes, which helped me to process. But that's also when I learned that not every emotion needs to be shared and not every song needs to be sung. And I think because of that, going back into my artistry this year, people are like, oh, you have so many songs, you can just pick and choose and then like release like 10,000 albums. But I realized that I don't want to produce any or most of them. So Road Rage was written last year because it's about my relationship with my mom and learning how to accept that I'm still her daughter and I want to learn how to love the parts of her that I see in myself as well. And then Runway also was written as part of that challenge when I got back from overseas and I was just missing someone that I love dearly. And after that, I realized, hey, I don't want to do any other song from the challenge. So out of 366, I've done 2. And I don't think it's a waste at all. It's about that whole process thing again, yeah.
For sure. And now you're going to perform Runway for us.
Yes.
Excited to hear it.
Here we go.
Hop on a plane later today, I'll meet you in row 58. You take the out towards the right and enjoy your comfortable flight. I'll let you rest your head on my shoulder. I'll run my hands through your hair, keep you covered. I'll go grab the baggage while you take a breather. I will be right here, 'cause I just wanna run away, taking off a runway with you. Because I feel so far away, because I feel so far away from you. display. While touching down, applause resounds. Your sleepy eyes wide open now. I'll block the flow of people so you can squeeze through. Fill up all of our paper so you don't have to. I'll track down a driver to our hotel room. I will be right here, 'cause I just wanna run away, taking off a runway with you. Because I feel so far away, because I feel so far away from you. You and me, foreign city, new sights and sounds. Me and you, nothing to do, the world is ours. You and me, foreign city, new sights and sounds. Me and you, nothing to do, the world is ours. 'Cause I just wanna run away, taking off a runway with you.
So listening to Runway, I just suddenly had the realization, I'm like, it's such a smooth song about turbulence.
Yeah.
Which I
Basically-
love.
Basically, yes.
I love it. But yeah, and this song was produced at your own studio,
Yes.
Selah Studios, and it's a studio that when did you, like, it's 2 years old, right?
Yes.
It recently
2022, yeah.
recently turned 2.
Yeah.
Amazing. And it marked like a new start in your journey as not just a producer and a singer-songwriter, but also a studio owner and business lady.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you share with us a little bit about what made you want to start your own studio? What has it been like, and the community that you've built over the last 2 years there?
For sure. Selah Studios is something that was put on my heart during COVID period, because I felt that so many artists were very affected by the pandemic and all the gigs were lost and morale was down. And, we were all cooped up at home, and I realized it's so hard to do this alone. So I started a small studio in my storeroom, and then moved on to having a very small unit in the same building that we're at now. And you were there, yeah. You interviewed me.
there.
You interviewed me as an artist
For our
Indiego as well.
Be Gentle With Me
Oh, we had Asian Pop
podcast
Weekly, yes.
interview thingy.
So that small tiny room, and even within that room I still felt like I want a space for everyone, and that was really what was on my heart. So then I just in faith stepped out and looked for a bigger space with the desire to just have a home for people to do whatever and to be whatever. And Selah basically is a term in the Bible, SELAH, which is to pause and reflect about what you just said. And I thought that was so meaningful, and that's what I wanted for people to do, to just pause, to rest, think about what they said. And then I thought of the wordplay, Selah, so it can be a place where people can just Selah, say what's on your mind, be honest about the things that you feel, because I feel like it's not very common in our culture to do. Like, we tweet about it, or like we'd like post on Instagram or make a TikTok. I do that, but I'm usually quite direct about who I'm talking about.
True.
Yeah, but it just became that, and from there it's been a beautiful 2 years of people just making memories, making connections, and that's how I met these guys. So it may be a bit unfamiliar, you haven't seen them play with me before. That's because it's the first time I'm having another band session for me. So they're from a little music collective called Wood, WOOD. And so we've got Zubair, we've got Alfred, we've got Churu and Shan. And they've just been hanging out at the studio doing their own music. And I love the life that they bring into the space. And they are a huge reminder of why I started this in the first place, just to be at home. And I'm so grateful to be able to do this with them today as well.
Awesome. And I feel like that is something that comes from you personally. Like the moment you told me you wanted to do this, I was like, wow, it seems like a big endeavor, but then you just went for it.
Yeah.
And I think that is so much part of your personality, and I love that about you.
Thank you.
You're going to play one last single for us, and it's a new single.
It's new, yeah.
And it's off your upcoming EP.
Yes.
Can you share the name of the song with us?
This song is titled Rapid, and that's from Mass Rapid Transit. So it's a song, I didn't plan for this to happen, honestly, but Road Rage came out, it's about cars. And then I finished up Runway in 2 months, and I realized, it's about planes. So there's a singer-songwriter named Thamin. Thamin commented and said, "Babe, wake up, Krysta Joy just dropped another transport-themed song." And I found that so funny. And then one day I was like, you know what, how about I turn it into an EP and title it On My Way, right? And I'm gonna write a song about trains, because I thought that would be pretty cool. So this song is actually a full circle moment, because Rapid talks about learning how to just wait for the next train to come. Don't try to rush into the doors, because I keep seeing these aunties do that and then they get stuck in the door. It's so dramatic. So then I realized it mirrored the very first song that I released, titled Wait. So there'll be a little Easter egg towards the end of the song. And I think it's also a reminder that I am still who I was, and I will continue to be that person.
Beautiful. Let's go.
Here's Rapid.
Doors, they are closing at the second I arrive. Think I'll make it, but I barely qualify. Should I risk it? If I miss it, I'll survive. Await the next train that's approaching on the line. Every hour is a rush inside of me. Feels like forever when the next one comes in 3 minutes away from checking my reality. Tunnel vision is affecting clarity. Take a step, take a breath, watch the yellow line. Take a minute to believe it isn't the wisest time. One door shut, next one open. Wonder what the future's holding. Take a step, take a breath, watch the warning sign before the rapid decline. Mind the gap, enter the cabin when it's clear. And those who need to up and leave you disappear. Grab a hand, don't let it angle to prepare. Acceleration for the season that's ahead. Every hour is a rush inside of me. Feels like forever when the next one comes in 3 minutes away from checking my reality. Tunnel vision is affecting clarity. Take a step, take a breath, watch the yellow line. Take a minute to believe it isn't the wisest time. One door shut, next one open. Wonder what the future's holding. Take a step, take a breath, watch the warning sign before the rapid decline. What will it take to be okay if I must wait? What will it take to be okay if I must wait? To be okay if I must wait? To be okay if I must wait?
Wow, after those 3 songs, I feel like SMRT should make you their ambassador.
They should.
They really should.
100%.
SMRT.
If you're watching right now,
Yes.
please.
Really,
Then again, I
100%.
ride a Vespa, so I don't really use public transport anymore.
But roads, right? Are roads not under SMRT? I don't know. Actually,
LTA.
wait. LTA, sorry.
They recently,
LTA
my
ambassador.
parents don't know about this, but I recently kena a speeding fine. Yeah.
Well,
I
they're
don't know why
gonna
I'm
find
saying
out
this,
now.
like, I don't know why I'm
They're
saying
gonna
this
find
on
out
camera. But shout out LTA.
Shout out
For
LTA.
keeping our roads safe from people like me.
Thank you so much, Krysta. It has been
Thank
such
you.
a joy to have you here on Indiego Recess, finally. Yes. And is there anything else you want to share? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Krysta Joy everywhere. That's KRYSTAJOY. And I'm very excited to announce that I'll also be going on tour real soon. Real soon. We're going to Japan and a couple of other countries with my friends Yao and Zina Giam. So a lot of fun stuff happening. Please support us and support local because you love local, not just because, it's just great. Yeah.
Classic Krysta. Thank you so much. See you
Thank
guys
you,
on the
everyone.
next Indiego Recess.